What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mic Check Podcast. This is T-Word, the People's Champ. Thanks for tapping in. Today, we're doing a quick recap of Saturday night's boxing action on DAZN, and we'll be talking about Jaime Munguia and his silver WBC championship fight with Sergey Derevyanchenko. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate your feedback. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. On Saturday, Jaime Munguia and Sergey Derevyanchenko got in the ring to fight at 168 pounds for a super middleweight WBC silver title, which is basically kind of it's kind of like a title eliminator belt to let people know you're in line to fight the champion. And sometime in the near future, you may have to defend the belt once. And then in this particular situation, you're in line to get a shot at Canelo's WBC crown if he's still champion or whoever actually holds that belt, okay? So this was a really important step up. Keep in mind, like we mentioned in our prediction video, Munguia is coming up from 160 pounds. He was a middleweight champ, so now he's up. Many people like myself have been very vocal about saying that he's in the Golden Boy protection plan. They've got him with this really built up record. You know, he was 41-0 coming into the fight with 33 KOs. And I just felt like it was a lot of fluff on there. Q and I actually had this conversation off air and everything. And we were comparing resumes. And I told him, you know, Zurdo, Munguia don't have the resume that Jamal Charlo has. And they certainly don't have the talent or skill set. If Charlo's able to get in the ring with either one of them, he beating that ass. That being said, another video, another day. Munguia jumped in there, and from the beginning, Derevyanchenko, I'm just gonna call him Serge came to fight. He went back and forth with him, and this fight was so contentious. There was a point where I felt like Munguia might get KO'd. I think it was around, had to be 6th or 7th, because that's around the time where I started flipping back and forth between the Taylor T.O. fight and this one. So I was watching a little bit less. I did get to see the pressure moments though. And one of them was around the 6th or 7th round. Serge had him in trouble, and he was pushing him around a little bit, kind of putting hands on him and feet, according to Kay Molaire. Shout out to my sis. And I really felt like this was exposing the flaws in Jaime's game. Apparently he has some defensive lapses, and any amount of pressure seems to bust a pipe. A bigger puncher, a boxer with more skill could probably beat him. And this is something that I thought throughout the fight. Sergey got to a point where if you're a skillful fighter, when you start to run out of gas, you still have your fundamentals. Sergey, and you still have some tricks too. Sergey's a savvy veteran, but he didn't have any tricks, and his fundamental skills just aren't on the level to make a fighter like Munguia basically shrink into a shell. And Jaime was ready to go, but Serge just couldn't close the door on him. He could have put his lights out a couple of times, and I believe it was like 5th and 6th or 6th and 7th round. He had him in real trouble, but he couldn't close the door because he doesn't have the requisite skills to finish a guy like that. Not saying that Munguia is elite. I just think he's a good enough fighter to where he's going to cause a guy like Derevyanchenko trouble. If you can't just stun him and just finish him with something quick and swift, you're going to give him time to recover. And it looked like Munguia caught a second win around 7th, 8th round, and it paid off for him because he was able to get a knockdown in the 12th round. And heading into the 12th, the truth is he needed a knockdown or something dramatic. He needed a 10-8 round to win one way or another, whether he just beat him pillar to post or what. But the final cards came out 115 and 112, 114, 113, and 114, 113. So he was potentially looking at a draw at best if he didn't get the knockdown, and that would have been still, like I said, with a really good round. But the knockdown pushed it over the top, so he gets the win and advances to 42-0. Serge drops to 14-5, but he definitely exposed some things in Munguia's skill set that they're going to need to work on, or maybe he doesn't need to be up there with them big punchers and killers at 168, because you can't put him in there with David Benavidez with the way that he let Serge just get inside and just tap him. Serge is working his way in and not paying the price for getting inside without defensive responsibility. And he did it a few times where he's inside and he worked his way in, not behind a guard or anything. He just kind of stepped in close and then let his offense go. Munguia can't let David Benavidez do that because he's just going to walk him down and hurt him. A guy like Caleb Plant, who's not a powerful puncher, but a smart, accurate, sharp puncher, can actually do some damage and might stun him with something slick. And then the foot movement is really going to give him trouble. And then even somebody like Demetrius Andrade, aka Boo Boo, these are guys that you probably keep him away from at 168, just to be honest. And you damn sure ain't putting him in there with Adames. That'll be murder on air. I thought that he did what was necessary to win the fight, but there's a lot to work on for this young man. And that 42-0, seeing that fight, it makes it really hard to look at that record and take it seriously. You know what I mean? But hey, that's just my opinion. You guys knew what I thought going in, and I'm just a little surprised that Derevyanchenko was that game. Q said he would give him a tough fight, and he damn sure delivered. So shout out to him for a very competitive effort and a loss. I just don't know where he goes from here. But for Munguia, maybe 160, do what you got to do to keep that weight under control and stay at 160 where there's more opportunities for belts and stuff like that. But hey, these are my thoughts and opinions. Would love to hear what you guys think and what you thought about the fight. Until the next time, this has been T, and I'm out. Peace.